Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. Day 9 is in the books for 49ers training camp. That is the third 3-day block. They've got Sunday off, and then they practice Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then Denver Broncos come to town. It is joint practices on Thursday. So attendance wise, pretty much the same. Colton McKivitz had a day off. I think they had the longest practice of training camp so far on Thursday. So there were a couple guys that were not practicing, a little bit of soreness, also a little bit of fatigue. So Colton McKivitz did not practice. Kevin Givens did not practice either. And then Nick Bosa, all for nothing major. What we're hearing is that they just need a little rest. They're a little bit of soreness. They also have Sunday off, so they'll have an additional day to recoup. Darrell Luter was also absent for practice, but also for personal reasons. And I think usually when it's personal reasons and there's word that it's a good thing, has to do with the baby. So I do believe that Darrell Luter is probably expecting a child or in process of being a father for the second time. Also attendance wise, Jair Brown was back in the mix. He was back in there. A few injury potential things that happened during practice. Kyle Juszczyk kind of rolled up, had a heel injury during special teams work, kind of went to the side, took off his shoe, worked through it, but did seem like he was okay, was conversating with George Kittle afterwards. And then Isaac Rendo. This one is the one I'm a little bit more worried about. Special teams drills. He was running to the side. I actually didn't see what happened. None of us did. I asked around. He popped up though, and doctors came over and he kind of like was bent over, shaking his arm like he was feeling numbness. So hopefully it's nothing major. They came over and were doing tests on his shoulder. He was lifting up his arm. And then finally, at the end of the testing, he had both arms over his head. So at least it's not mobility. There's nothing broken. It could have been a stinger. That sometimes makes arms go numb. So outside of that, that's all of the injuries and absences from what day is today? Saturday. So looking at the practice today, they did their normal individual drills, calisthenics and stuff like that. Then they did one-on-ones. And again, the one-on-ones, my favorite ones to watch are Russell Gage and Upton Stout. And Upton Stout, you can see the progress. He's getting better coverage. He's staying closer to Russell Gage. And I think he's going to end up being a really good nickelback. Isaiah Nair also had some really good reps. He did have one broken up by a defensive back, but overall, really good juke moves. He's running nice routes. He's really fluid and he's really fast. So Isaiah Nair is a guy who looks great on one-on-ones. Also, Junior Bergen had a couple good reps. These young receivers are looking like they're kind of finding their feet. So that's always good. Jordan Watkins had a couple good reps as well. Jordan Watkins also, who was not at practice on Thursday, came back to practice on Friday. So he had a couple good reps. But overall, day 9 at training camp was the Ricky Pearsall show. He caught all 5 of his passes. He was out there a lot, and it makes sense because Juwan Jennings is still out with a calf injury. Jacob Cowing is still out with a hamstring injury. So Ricky Pearsall is the guy. He is wide receiver number 1. Demarcus Robinson was out there too. Russell Gage was out there as well, but really it was the Ricky Pearsall show. He caught all 5 of his targets, 4 from Brock, 1 from Mac Jones, and then he also had the ball in his hands 2 other times during the play. So that's 7 snaps with the ball in his hands. I apparently cannot, according to PR and the rules, I cannot reveal to you what exactly Ricky Pearsall was doing with the ball in his hands, but you've seen it before. And the player who used to do it quite a bit is now with another team in Washington. So I'll give you that. Those are your hints. But I mean, Ricky Pearsall is running some really good routes. He's got good vision, and what Brock said on Thursday, I think makes a lot of sense as to why he's finding connection with Ricky Pearsall now. So before, Ricky Pearsall would find routes, get open, and they really did draft him to have separation and man coverage. But because he was getting open and the timing wasn't right, he wasn't getting as many completions with Brock Purdy. Now that they've worked on their timing, Brock Purdy said, hey, I see that you're open, but you weren't open early enough, or you won't open late enough. So now that they've got their timing synced up, I think you're going to see a lot of growth from Ricky Pearsall in this coming season. And he just continues to impress. And while he's been held up a little bit with a hamstring injury, this is a guy who I think is really going to have kind of one of those comeback seasons. He showed what he could do at the end of 2024. And now I think he's really kind of having a great training camp, which is going to lead to a really good season. Christian McCaffrey was back on the field today. He took a couple reps, not a lot. I didn't see him do a lot today. He caught two passes from Brock Purdy. He had 3 runs with Brock Purdy in there. He is never out there with Mac Jones. He really is only out there. So 5 plays with the ball in his hands. Patrick Taylor with Isaac Grenda going out. Patrick Taylor was kind of the guy who came in at that number 2 spot. He's been, he had 1 run with Mac Jones. He had 2 receptions from Brock Purdy and 2 runs with Purdy in there. Outside of that, really just a couple of passes to a couple of guys. Jake Tongas was the top targeted tight end. George Kittle wasn't out there a whole lot. I think the long practice on Thursday, also a little bit of soreness, so he wasn't out there too much. He was out there when they did the move the ball series, and that's where they actually treat the drive like a drive instead of just starting over at the same scrimmage line. So he was out there when they got closer to the goal line. Didn't score a touchdown, but was out there. Standout pass breakups. There were a handful of them. And it's young guys again trying to make a way for themselves. So one pass breakup was by Eli Apple, who is new to the team. So he was out there, broke up a pass from Tanner Mordecai to Isaiah Hodgins. Let's see here. We got Jalen Graham broke up a pass from the new wide receiver Carter Bradley that was intended for Mason Pline. And then Chaz Surratt, linebacker, broke up a Mac Jones pass, and we couldn't tell who it was intended for. So the field's the way they are. Team was really far away. I was watching through binoculars and then trying to write everything down at the same time. It's a team effort. We all like, who caught that? Who was on coverage? So that is your kind of breakdown of the 11 on 11 work. There was kicker news today. So the kickers kicked, and Jake Moody missed a kick. He missed the deepest one, which is about 50 some yards back. Greg Joseph hit all 4 of his, and they were ranging from, let's see, I have it here. They're ranging from 33 yards to start. They moved back to the 39. Both kickers hit. They moved back to the 43. Both kickers hit. They were probably at the 52-yard line, right hash mark, and Greg Joseph went first. He made it, and Jake Moody missed. They each have, I believe, 3 misses throughout camp. Jake Moody has missed 1 on 3 separate days, and Greg Joseph missed 2 on one day and 1 a few days ago. So that is your wrap up for day 9. We are going up to talk to position coaches tomorrow. We get offensive coaches and defensive coaches on Sunday. No practice, no player availability. And then Monday, we are back at it, day 10 of training camp, and I'll report back to you then. All right. Hope you guys are well. Check out my story I wrote about Upton Stout and Nick Martin. That is on NBC News, NBC Sports Bay Area.com. And I'll have another video for you soon. All right. Hope you're well. Please subscribe and like. Bye.